Do you know what makes a woman unforgettable? Not her looks, not her clothes, not even the way she smiles when the world is watching. What makes her unforgettable is the way she carries herself when no one is clapping, the way she refuses to break when life tries to bend her, the way she turns her silence into strength and her heartbreak into fire. Men don't fear losing the woman who chases them, begs for them, or lives for them. Men fear losing the woman who has built herself so powerfully that even her absence feels louder than her presence. Tonight, I want to tell you something that most people are too afraid to admit. Men fear losing a woman with these 5 habits. And if you make them yours, no man, no circumstance, no failure will ever have the power to define you. Let's begin with the first. Independence. Not the kind that is spoken about casually, but the kind that seeps into your bones. A woman who doesn't wait for someone else to validate her worth, who doesn't need someone else's hand to climb her mountain, creates her own world instead of waiting to be invited into someone else's. That woman is terrifying to lose, because the truth is, dependence is comfort. And when a man knows you don't depend on him emotionally, financially, or socially, realizes you could walk away at any moment and still be just fine. That's power. Independence isn't just about making money, it's about making decisions. It's about owning your choices. It's about waking up in the morning and saying, "Choose me." The woman who chooses herself doesn't just survive, she thrives. And losing her means losing someone irreplaceable. The second habit is self-respect. A woman who has mastered the art of respecting herself will never allow herself to be disrespected. Doesn't scream to demand it, she doesn't beg to prove it. She lives in such a way that respect follows her naturally. When she says no, she means it. When she sets a boundary, it stands like a wall. And when someone tries to cross it, she has the courage to walk away, even if it hurts. Men fear losing this kind of woman because she refuses to settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't care if you are the richest man in the room or the most charming. If you don't meet her standards, you don't get her. A woman with self-respect becomes the standard, and that standard cannot be replaced. The third habit is emotional control. Not being cold, not being heartless, but being wise with her emotions. You see, many people will try to control you through your feelings, your anger, your jealousy, insecurities. But when a woman learns to master her emotions instead of being mastered by them, she becomes unshakable. She doesn't react to every insult. She doesn't fight every battle. She doesn't waste her energy proving herself to people who don't matter. She moves with grace, and that grace is intimidating. Men fear losing her because she cannot be manipulated. She doesn't get trapped in drama, doesn't get lost in chaos, she rises above it. And when you rise above, you stop being reachable to the ones who want to pull you down. The fourth habit is ambition. A woman with ambition is unstoppable. She doesn't just dream, she builds. She doesn't just hope, she works. And the more she grows, the more the world notices. Ambition makes a woman magnetic. Means she is living for something bigger than just love or approval. She is chasing purpose, passion, and power. Men fear losing her because ambition makes her rare. She doesn't sit around waiting for someone to save her. She becomes her own savior. She doesn't wait for doors to open. She builds her own door. And the man who walks away from her knows deep down that she will continue to rise or without him. And that thought burns. And finally, the fifth habit, authenticity. A woman who is unapologetically herself is unstoppable. Doesn't hide behind masks. She doesn't water herself down. She doesn't pretend to be less just to make others comfortable. She is bold, is real, she is raw. She knows that her power lies not in being liked by everyone, but in being true to herself. And that kind of authenticity is magnetic. Men fear losing her because they know they will never find another version of her. Cannot replace authenticity, you cannot duplicate it. A woman who is authentic carries a kind of freedom within her that makes her untouchable. Now, let me tell you why these 5 habits matter so much. Because the truth is, the world has always tried to convince women that they need to be smaller, Quieter, softer, less ambitious, less demanding. The world has taught women to dim their light just to be accepted. But what happens when a woman refuses? What happens when she chooses to shine, to stand tall, to embrace every inch of who she is? She becomes unforgettable. She becomes powerful. She becomes the woman men fear losing, but more importantly, the woman who doesn't fear losing anyone. Think about it. How many times have you been told you are too much, too loud, too ambitious, too independent, too emotional? And how many times have you been told you are not enough, not pretty enough, not good enough, not successful enough? This is how the world confuses you, by making you doubt yourself. But here's the truth. You were never too much or not enough. Always exactly who you needed to be. But the world was not ready for you. And the moment you realize that, everything changes. So let me ask you tonight, are you ready to stop begging for love and start building your life? Are you ready to stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's story and start writing your own? Are you ready to stop living in fear of being left and start living in power of being unstoppable? Because the day you do, the world will shift. People will notice. Men will notice. Men will notice. And the fear of losing you will haunt them, not because you are cruel, not because you are arrogant. You are rare. A woman with independence cannot be caged. A woman with self-respect cannot be broken. A woman with emotional control cannot be manipulated. A woman with ambition cannot be stopped. A woman with authenticity cannot be replaced. This is who you are meant to be. Not someone's option, not someone's backup plan, not someone's shadow. You are the storm. You are the fire. You are the light. And the more you embrace these habits, the more you will realize you were never meant to be feared losing by just one man. We're meant to be remembered by the world. So tonight I ask you to rise above doubt, rise above fear, rise above every voice that ever told you that you weren't enough. Step into the woman you were born to be. And when you do, watch how the world changes around you. Watch how respect follows you. Watch how opportunities chase you. Watch how men fear losing you, not because you need them, but because you don't. And that, my friends, is the most powerful place a woman can ever be.